Happy 7th of December. I want to do something a bit inspired yesterday by a comment that I got from for the training, and it was about the feeling like making ourselves big, making ourselves small, the feeling of pulling together, making small, making big, and someone who said that she had the feeling she would like to have more room for the hips. Like the feeling is like it's to make big from here up here. It's easy to sort of stretch out, but yeah, sort of being reminded that also actually like the legs and the hips and down here also that wants to have space. It wants to move, and yeah, it's kept. Kept it in my mind somehow. Also, this it was a really nice inspiration also to see how, yeah, what do my hips actually want to move? How can they move, and how is it possible there to move, to have more space and have more movement? So here we're very used to, like it's very easy to show expansion and show movement, and down here it's not so much. It's much more gradual. We can show it if we belly dance or something. It's easy. Then you show sort of movement, but yeah, the range between big and small, it's much less visible there. And I thought just a possibility to explore movement in this part of the body and see what is possible and what is big for here and what is small for there, and how does it feel to move in different ways from here. So I'd like to start by just in standing, starting to circle your hips. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. It's seeing what the sort of normal range for you is today. What is the sort of pleasant range? How can you circle it? So if you imagine that even that you have a brush, a paintbrush that goes down from your what's that word in English? Steißbein, the end of your spine that goes all the way down to the floor, and you're making with this brush, you're making small circles on the floor. You try to make yeah, nice small circular movement in your painting. Or you can imagine that you have a tailbone, it's called, a tail that's been dipped in some very nice color paint, and you're letting that paint circles on the floor. And you can change directions. A bit inspired also by the trainings 2 days ago and on the weekend, 5th and the 6th of December. You could see, or no, the 4th and the 5th of December, you can see also how is it possible to make as little effort as possible in the rest of the body while doing that. So you're making small movements and you're making as little effort as possible in the rest of the body. Can the neck be free? Can the shoulders be free? Can the chest be free? Is it possible to let go of tension in the belly and still circle? Let your hips circle. And can you make it so interesting, this small movement, that it sort of brings a sort of almost like jittery attention. So is it possible, like I said in the introduction, like the possibility that a movement can be extremely boring. Any kind of movement, also the most interesting movement, can be very boring without bringing attention to it. And if you bring attention to it, to the small gradual turn, noticing that where it's turning in the spine, which parts of the spines are being turned, what it moves in your hips, how each part of the circle feels, where there's sort of like a bit of almost like a friction or a pulling against the movement. Noticing almost a slight trembling in your legs from the concentration. And then you can bend down. You put your hands on your leg, above your knees like this, shown from the sides, and then you make the movement a bit bigger. So you're painting circles on the floor. You're trying to see if this, you're bending forward, see if you can still leave space for your chest by doing that. You can still allow your neck to be free. See if that helps you to make the movement bigger. So allowing your hips to move big. In the one direction and the other direction. Notice the effort that the legs have to do, and see if you can breathe into that effort, allowing your legs to become alive with the effort they have to do to keep the weight up and allow this movement. Seeing that your neck can be free, your shoulders can be free, you have space for your chest. Intensifying, allowing the movement to be intense and alive. A little bit longer. Feeling how that making this effort with the legs bring a sort of heat up, moving with the hips and activating the legs. And stop and stand up. You can close your eyes and just breathe. And see if you can allow with every breath, allow whatever is there at the moment. If the legs are trembling a bit, if you can really allow your legs to tremble a bit. For me, even the jaw is trembling a bit. To allow the jaw to tremble and to see at the same time, as always, notice, what does the body want to do with this now? What feels good for the body to move? What has become awake and louder? Maybe there are parts of the back that are more clearly saying, oh, here, move here. Maybe there are ways that you can move your legs, but your legs that you can get to certain parts of your back a bit more easily. Now sort of freestyle stretch, like see what are the possibilities for your hips to move, your legs to move. Put down the screen. Can your legs move to allow your hips to move a bit more? What does your back want? What kind of movements from the hip does your back want or enjoy or find interesting? Or maybe what is a kind of movement that you haven't done in a very long time? How is it going down, going up? And again, seeing what does the rest of the body wants to do with that. For me, activating the back, then my shoulders definitely get, my shoulders and my neck get louder in saying, oh, here also, we also want movement. Okay, so that was the impulse for today. And yeah, enjoy. If there's any feedback, comments, as I said in the beginning, these are very improvised, spontaneous videos, and I would be happy for any kind of comments, what it does for you, what you enjoy, what is maybe what is interesting, what is maybe challenging or disturbing, or I'll be happy to hear from you. You can get in contact with me over the on my website. There is my contact details. And enjoy, and see you again tomorrow.